All right, you guys, I am coming at you today at 9:40 because we are going to be covering the Creator Connections messages today. All right, so this video is going to basically be covering what is Creator Connections and why should you care, right? How do you get Creator Connections? And then also, how do you get to Creator Connections, okay? Once we're in there, I'm going to share some tips for you guys for sending Creator Connections templates, which is basically within ViralVue. You do not have to have ViralVue to do Creator Connections, so almost everything in this video will still apply to you, even if you don't have ViralVue yet. But I'm telling you, I will show you the way that I do it to using ViralVue, and then you'll also see essentially how you will have to do it if you don't have ViralVue. Okay, so if you want to go ahead and give ViralVue a try after this video, you can use my coupon code for 10% off Shay10. Obviously, go ahead and give this video a like if you enjoy it. Comment anything else you want to see in the future. This video is actually being created because of a request from somebody. Okay, let's see what else do I have planned for you guys today. I'm going to help you learn how you can find products to send those requests for free samples. I'm going to cover how you can brainstorm keywords, how you search for them, filter for them. I'll do a little mention of bucket messaging, but don't worry, I'm not going to cover that because it's more of an advanced feature with ViralVue. So if you're just new to Creator Connections, bucket messaging could be a little overwhelming, okay? I'm going to cover when you should send those messages. How come ViralVue doesn't let you use credits the next day, and why do they expire every single day kind of thing? They have a good reason. And then at the very end there, I will go ahead and be covering follow-up messages that ViralVue has as well. You are going to go to your storefront, click on See Reporting, and then make sure you're on your offsite store ID. Your offsite store ID is basically the one that does not say on Amazon. Once you have gotten to your offsite store ID, you're then going to navigate to Creator Connections. Now, if you have ViralVue, there's a Go to Creator Connections shortcut. If you don't, you're going to have to go to your hamburger menu in the upper right-hand side, go to Promotions, and then Creator Connections. 99% sure that's how you get there without the shortcut. All right, so what is Creator Connections? We are here. What exactly is it? It's what it sounds like. It is going to connect creators to people that have the products, right? It's a way for the creator to connect to brands, right? That are selling products. Now, one of the reasons why Creator Connections is so incredibly important, if you are new to the program, then you probably have heard-ish, right? That they cut on-site commissions, okay? Now, when they cut the on-site commissions, on average, people were probably going to lose about 50% of their on-site. Now, when you are looking at your on-site, let me blur some stuff out real quick and just show you real quick. All right, so this is my on-site store ID. Had to blur stuff out. We're not allowed to show our numbers per Amazon, okay? But basically, you have your summary, which is right here. That is going to be your on-site and your Creator Connections combined. Commissions is my on-site earnings, and then Creator Connections is the earnings from my on-site sales that get additional commission, right? So let's say that I sold something for on-site and the commission was 1.5%, okay? But that same on-site product had a Creator Connections campaign that had 10 or 20% of commission. I earn my 1.5% on my commissions tab, then I will earn an additional 10% on Creator Connections if the Creator Connections campaign or CC campaign was 10%. But those things can get as high as like 30, 40, 50%. I think probably the most common ones I typically see are 10, 12, or 15. But like I said, they get up to 20, 30, 40, however much they want. Okay. I think the highest I've seen recently was 50%. But that's basically what Creator Connections is. So whenever the rates cut, yes, I lost money over here in commissions, but over here didn't change. Okay. And ever since I started the Amazon Influencer Program back in halfway through September 2025, I have only focused on Creator Connections campaigns. Okay. So I have like 530 something videos, and pretty much most of those, probably over 400 to 450 of them, were brand deals, meaning I got a free sample in exchange for creating a shoppable video. And that is why, my friends, we are talking about creator connections today, because that is how I got those free samples. Now, are there other ways for you to get free samples? Yes. Okay, you can send the brand a message on Instagram. You can send their marketing team an email, all that good stuff. But none of that is as automated or as efficient as doing it through here. Okay. So, real quick, when you get to Creator Connections, it's going to default to this lovely sponsored products for creators tab if you're gold level and above. If not, you'll see this affiliate campaigns, affiliate plus campaigns, excuse me. And that's the original, the OG Creator Connections. Okay. Now, if you still don't see Creator Connections yet, it's because you have to be bronze level or higher in the Amazon Influencer Program, which basically means you have to make at least one sale that is in $1 or more in shipped revenue, which I don't think there's anything under $1 in on Amazon. Okay. So once you make your first sale, you should be good there. My very first sale was 25 cents. It was a birthday card. Okay. And that's how I got into Creator Connections. The other way you can get in is by getting 100 clicks or more. So basically, if somebody watches your video and clicks on it, right? Or offsite, whatever, 100 clicks or $1 in shipped revenue, that will unlock this. So totally doable. Once you have that, getting into Creator Connections helps you scale 10 times faster. Okay. I got my first 4-figure month. I think it was in November of 2025. So like my third month in the program, and I've been in 4 digits ever since. Okay. All right, let's go ahead, and I've told you what Creator Connections is. I told you how to get it. Now let's cover how ViralVue helps me. So first off, what you would end up doing if you did not, okay, have ViralVue is you'd come here, you'd scroll through, you'd find something you're interested in, and then you'd have to like basically right click, open this in a new tab, and message the brand yourself. You'd have to basically copy and paste something that you already had or type it out manually every time and then send the message. Now, with ViralVue, I go over here on the right hand side. Okay, I click on the product view extension, excuse the blur, sorry. And then basically from here, if I find a product that I think is worth it, so like this sleep patch for adults, ooh, with magnesium, I might actually be interested in that. All right, so it does at least sell, I know that, based off daily sales, no influencer videos, all that stuff. So I would click this message box right here, and then I would come up to the top and I would say send messages. Okay. Bucket messages. I have a totally other video on that. It's a more advanced feature, I would say. If you're just into Creator Connections, spend some time in just Creator Connections first. Bucket messaging, long story short, basically allows you to send a message from the Amazon search. Like, so I go to Amazon to buy flip-flops. I can add things to my bucket and then send them from my bucket here by clicking send bucket messages. I have a whole other video on that. Okay. But I would go ahead if I found this one and I say send messages. I click that. It's going to say, which template do you want to use? I'm going to use my mom of 2 littles because then the brand will know that I'm tired all the time. Okay. So it's going to use that template. I'm about to cover what a template is, so just stick with me. And then additional message template. That basically means that if I have already sent Sleep Patch Health Store -US a message before, they will say, hey, here's something else I'm interested in, instead of resending the original message, which shows like you don't know what you're doing and not paying attention. All right, so anyways, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click confirm. It is then going to pop me back over here, and it's saying we're checking the campaign. And what it means by they're checking the campaign is they're making sure it's active, and they're also making sure that there's still budget left, right? Because if there's no budget left, or if there are too many influencers, like it gets capped out 200 maybe once 200 people accept the campaign. That number sounds right. I'm going to pause and I'm going to find out if what that number is. Hold on. Okay, yes, I did confirm it. It's 200 influencers. So basically what it means by checking campaigns, does it have budget left? Are you still able to accept that campaign? Or were there 200 people? That's essentially what it's looking for. So as you can see, in 3 seconds, it sent that message for me versus me having to go in there, and I would have had to, when I did that, I would have had to copy the ASIN over. Sorry, playoff hockey, if you can hear my husband. Okay, you would have to copy the ASIN, send the brand a message, and all of that's manual. Okay, now let's talk about templates. So you have this lovely button up here. It's called Edit Templates. This is just ViralVue. Okay, now let me go ahead and click on it, and I'm going to add a new template. But once I click on this, it's going to say initial message. That's what you want. The initial message is what I just sent. It was the first time that I'm reaching out to a brand. Additional request, that is if I'm sending them another one. Let's say I sent them a message, but then I found something else I liked. It'll send them the additional request template. We'll also talk about follow-up here in just a little bit. And then notify brand, we're not going to talk about today, but if you want to know what it is, basically once you upload a video to your storefront and you want to notify the brand that you have completed the video, uploaded it, and you're good to go, and the brand deal is essentially complete, that's what Notify Brand does. It does it for you automatically, which is another great feature, by the way, because I would always follow up with brands and had to do all of that manually. All right, I'm going to go ahead and click on initial message here. All right, so I went ahead and I went underneath editing template and I chose create new template because I already have a ton. So basically in here, you're gonna just, I call it my generic template. I also have other templates. As you can see, I have my mom of two littles. So if I'm gonna be sending something that parents of toddlers would like, I choose my mom of two littles template. If I'm going to be cooking, I'll choose my kitchen template, like whatever the case may be. And basically, why did you hold on? My cat's misbehaving. Sorry, y'all. Coco interrupted me again. She interrupts all my videos. She's just knocking stuff off my bookshelf. All right, so anyways, let's say I was going to create a template for my cats. Okay. I would call it cats. Now, in here, you're going to do your initial like welcome. Okay, so you would basically say, you know, hello, and then they have these lovely placeholders over here off to the left. I'm going to say brand. Okay, and then I will say, I am interested in, and then I'm going to say ASIN. Okay, because it's going to insert the ASIN, but I'm also going to say ASIN and then here. Okay. You can also, if you don't want to do the ASIN, you can insert the product URL. I always insert the ASIN just because if I insert the product URL, it's going to give me less characters that I can use because Amazon limits the amount of characters that you can use, right? So I'm going to say that I own 2 kitties, a calico and a tabby, who I'm sure would love this product. And then basically you want to keep it short. Okay, and I actually probably got a little too fancy with the grammar. Okay, so while we are here, let me go ahead and just give you a few tips for writing a Creator Connections message. So first off, like I said, I've gotten tons of samples, probably over 560-ish now, because I've got a little bit of a backlog sitting in front of my computer for things I need to create. But basically what you're doing here is you're requesting a free sample from a brand in exchange for a shoppable video, right? So if you were going to be doing business with somebody and you were creating your own product, what would you want to know about that person before sending them one? Okay. Also, keep in mind, a ton of these products are based in other countries, and English is their second language. So, simple English. Okay. So, the fact that I said 2 kitties, comma, a calico, and a tabby, comma, that's more advanced English, right? So, I could possibly just take that off and I will just leave it as I own 2 kitties, right? Who I'm sure would love this product. I'm going to actually say, I'm just going to say I own 2 kitties because the would love, right? That's a weird tense in English that can love this product. All right. And then, and of course, Grammarly's like, what are you doing? Oh yeah, who can love this product? That works. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to do is tell you about these blocks. Okay, so when you're sending Creator Connections messages manually, the message box allows you to hit enter and use paragraphs. but it sends it all as one big chunk. So when somebody does have English as a second language, if you send them a big old paragraph, they're not going to want to read it, right? It's hard for them. Even people that have English as their first language, you send me a chunk of something, I'm not going to want to read it, right? My brain will have to work harder to understand where you broke up your thought process. Okay, so I'm going to say I own two kitties who can love this product, and then I'm going to add a block. I will create a shoppable video for you or for your brand within, give them a time frame. I'm going to say 5 to 7 days. Now, if you get really busy, just remember to come in here and update that if your turnaround time starts to slow down, okay? But let them know how long it's going to take. Why are you special? Well, because I own two cats, right? And then I'm going to create a shoppable video for you. That's what I'm going to deliver, okay? And within 5 to 7 days, okay? The other thing that you're going to want to do, and I add another block for this, okay, as I say, if you'd like a shoppable video, and you can even say like to increase your conversion rate or whatever. In my stuff now, I say I'm a gold level influencer and I have helped generate over $100,000 worth of revenue. If you don't have that stuff, that's fine. Just keep it simple. It worked for me. It'll work for you. Okay. But if you'd like a shoppable video in exchange or a free sample, please ship the product to, and then insert your address. Okay. I send my own address, okay, because I don't want to go somewhere and pick it up. Lately I've been toying with the idea of a PO box just because. I think it would help me to like every Friday or something go pick it up and then make my videos over the weekend versus them all sitting by my front door until the weekend. Okay. And then the other thing you can say is my email address is, some brands prefer to reach out, other brands keep like a Rolodex, right? Gosh, that ages me. And they keep a tally or a list of emails of influencers that they like to work with or that they've worked with previously. So if you give them your email address, that'll help. Sometimes they want your email address too to send you a receipt or a tracking of the product. And then you can say, and my WhatsApp is, or my phone number is, and then you want to give your phone number because a lot of times they'll put that on the order in order to, like, if somebody has to call, right? One time I shipped something to a coworker and they ended up calling me because I had like a number wrong or something weird happened and I was able to tell them where they needed to go. Okay, and then my last block is basically like with enthusiasm or looking forward to hearing from you, Shanna, right? So that's kind of my tips there. Remember, English is a second language, keep it short and simple. You do not want back and forth, okay? These brands are getting hundreds of messages every single day, okay? And they are going to just basically click through and find the ones that tell them what they need. Turnaround time. What are you going to give me? A shoppable video. Where can I send the receipt or tracking information? Here's my email. If my ordering process requires a phone number, here's my phone number, right? The less back and forth you have, okay, here's my shipping address. A lot of times when I send these messages, guys, they'll say, okay, great, thank you so much. On its way, here's the tracking number, right? So just kind of include all of that stuff in, and then especially turnaround time. Okay, so those are my quick tips for that. So far we've covered what Creator Connections is, how to get to it, and how to create your template, and then tips for those templates. All right, so now let's go ahead and take a gander here at how to find products to send. Oh, also click create new when you're done. Okay. All right, so one of the things you can do is just open this product view like I just did. But the problem with doing that is everybody is seeing a lot of these products because it's just how it magically opened, right, for me. So right here, we can go ahead and come in here. Pajamas. I don't know why I was looking for that one. That's funny. Okay, so right now what's coming up? July 4th. Okay, so July. Lovely, because it didn't register the 4. So basically, you come in here and then scroll for a little bit. Okay, just keep on doing this. to pull up some more products, because if you don't do this, it's going to only load like 50 or 100 or something like that. So you just want to go ahead and click this drop down. The more that you have, the better. You can get like an auto scroller or something like that. I've never done it because I'm too lazy to download the auto scroller. I'd just rather scroll. Okay. If you do get an auto scroller, be careful. Sometimes you can get rate limited. Amazon does not like it when there's a ton of automation happening at once on your account, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so this is apparently a gel diffuser for something, and I'm not sure what I want to do. I'll right click and open it. If I don't really know what that is, I'm going to do that real quick. Hold on. Okay, we'll do that one because it was a gel diffuser and it's supposed to help cats remain calm, apparently. Who knows? Ooh, a candle. I love a good candle, you guys. And don't be afraid to mark multiple, okay? Sometimes when I do it, the brand comes back and says, please pick one, and then I do. Other times they're like, they're all on the way. And I made a decent amount of money at Christmas last year because of this one gift basket brand that apparently I requested like 4 samples and they sent them all to me. Okay. I'll do another deal on product research. If you want to learn more about really anything and everything in product research, Data Coach Claire has a Build to 1K course. I'll put my affiliate link in the description of the video. It was worth every penny. Okay. She saved me. It is a more advanced class. I will say that. I took it last month. April, maybe her March. No, it was March, her March cohort, and she has helped me become way more efficient. Okay, so let's go ahead and just keep on. I'm just going to start clicking. I mean, sometimes like ask yourself, is somebody going to watch a video for a product for $9? Probably not, but I'm going to do it anyways because I have a 2-year-old and she would freaking love glitter on her face. Okay. All right, something about kitty cats again. Why not? Let's see, how many do I have left? 14 messages for today. So that's another thing I was actually going to talk about. So while I look for these, I'll tell you about that. Okay, so ViralVue gives you a certain amount of messages a day. I believe it's 20. I pay for 45 right now. You can pay all the way up to 100, I think it is. You just have to do extra. So what I will do is I will pay for like 30 or 40 messages, and apparently in this case 45 because I was feeling extra productive, I guess. And then once I start getting a ton of samples in and I start feeling like I'm getting behind or stressed, I will slow it. I'll pull it back. I'll go back down to 20 or 30 or something like that until I'm caught up. And then once I feel good, I'll up it again. So just so you know, I do that. They do not roll over. You get that a day. So if you don't send them, you lose them. There's a few reasons why they do this. I'm sure some of it has to do with back-end stuff and servers and all the things, but one of the main reasons they have come out is they have said that they want accountability and consistency because that's how you succeed in this program. Okay? If you sent all of your messages on one day every month, you wouldn't get as many samples because there are new campaigns that pop up every single day, you guys, and they have ad budgets, and some of them they have an ad budget at the beginning of the month, others theirs opens up in the middle or the end, or they have it the whole time. And if you were to just send all your messages on the weekend, you wouldn't be as successful. All right, so every single day sending your messages. Okay, that'll be part of what helps you there. And one of these days, I'm going to get Garvey to send me something, so I'm just going to try. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to send these off really quickly. I'm not going to say Mama Two Littles for this one because I've got a ton of stuff, so I'm going to do my generic outreach. All right, and then once again, remember, if I had already sent a message to one of these brands, it would send out my additional request template. Okay. And that one you also have to make. If you're like, I don't want to manage all my templates from here, you can actually go to the ViralVue web app. And then what is that called on there? You go over to your, yes, your Viral Vault. Okay, and in your vault, you can manage your templates from over there as well. All right, so I'm going to click close. So that's one of my tips is just think about holidays coming up. Okay, now some people don't like doing holidays for Creator Connections or just for their storefront in general because obviously once I make money on those, it wouldn't happen year round. They're not evergreen, right? Evergreen meaning forever green. It always brings you commissions. Okay, I won't do that. So one of the things that you can do is that think about what's coming up next. The other thing is what's around you. Okay. So for me, what's around me right now? I'm sitting at my desk, so 50,000 things. We're gonna choose coffee mug. All right. And oh, how cute are all these? Coffee is it's my weakness, y'all. Side note, if you see something and you're like, it probably won't make me that much commissions, but I'll be able to sell it. I got a $120 like portable coffee warmer and I sold it on Facebook Marketplace for like, I think it was $60. So even though I only made a little bit of commission off of that, I still made a decent amount of money there. All right, and as you can see, these lovely green things basically mean I've already sent requests for those. So they won't have you send them again. Oh, wedding season is coming up. Same thing with engagement season. So let's try to get, oh, I already asked them. Well, maybe if I ask again, they'll send it to me. You never know. All right, and then that little refresh basically just means refresh. If you get tired of scrolling and clicking the next page, you can come over here and you can up it. Oh, I almost closed my face off. Hold on. You can up it to like 200, 500, whatever you want to do there. All right. I will say I typically never have the need for that. Also, if you're just starting out, you guys, please don't stress over the viral score. Okay, I used to request things that had like a viral score of 10 or 0 because I was just looking to build up my storefront. Okay, because once you have a certain amount of videos, brands will start reaching out to you. I think they started reaching out to me around 200 or 250 videos. And then also a lot of these brands, oh, that's another thing I totally forgot to tell you. Put your storefront link in your initial outreach message because a lot of times they want to go see. It's basically your what's the word I want? Oh, jeez. Okay, the word I wanted was portfolio. It's like your portfolio. But also, if you have ViralVue, you also can send your media kit. Okay, which is, and at the top of your media kit, you can have like your YouTube link, your Amazon storefront, all that good stuff. Okay, and if you send your media kit, that's less characters. I need to change it to mine actually. That's less characters for and you. Okay, let's see. Ooh, everybody loves a good thermos. I'm not, I've got too much pink in the house because of my daughter. So we're going to request that one. Ooh, this one's fun. It's a book. Also, what I will do, guys, is even if I don't think it might sell that much, I start requesting things that I think friends and family would really like because Christmas, right? I didn't have to pay for Christmas presents last year. Just don't tell my family that. All right, so I've got 6% left I can do. I'm going to go ahead and say send. I think I have a coffee one. Don't I have a coffee one? I do. Confirm. All right, and so then these are going to send. So I think when I started this YouTube video with you guys, I think I had like 24 messages or something like that. We're about 30 minutes into this video until I edit some stuff out possibly. But this would have taken me way longer than 30 minutes to send all of those messages, especially without product view, without all that stuff. Also, every once in a while, if I see something on here that I'd like, I'll right click and open it up and then I'll copy to send the message. All right, so just so you know that, I did get a lovely coffee warmer. All right, so that's another thing. Just look around. Okay, so something that you see around you. The other thing that I typically will do in order to come up with keywords, like I said, holidays, something you see around you, and then what's something that you used that day? Earlier, I was gardening, so I might just type in here garden, right? And go from there. Something that you will be doing in the future. I know I said holidays, but also what is something you're going to be doing? So we were going to go on a lovely road trip. But I actually, oh, I might have to refresh my page. All right, I figured out what I did wrong. I had jumped over to show you guys at the beginning, those other on-site, off-site stuff, and I was on my on-site, so it got mad at me. All right, so now that I'm on the correct store ID, I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna try to find some gardening stuff. All right, so this one I'm gonna be a little bit pickier about just because I don't. Oh, that's another thing. If you see something like this, sometimes the brand will be like, hey, can you show this in use? Which, yeah, most of the stuff I show in use, but if it's outside and I have to drill a hole into the wall, I'm probably not requesting it. All right, so I want some super fun things for the garden. Oh, gloves. Always love gloves too. Ooh, butterflies. Okay, so let's see. I've got 3 left. Okay, ooh, and then there's a fountain thingy. Gotta love a good fountain. That's indoor stuff. I'm gonna request both of these. All right, so notice when I clicked these two, they're from the same seller. And then up here, I have ASINs selected and messages to send 4. So just because you're selecting 2 ASINs, it's gonna only take up 1 message and not 2. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and send these. That's something that I did today. Oh, about the whole whatchamacallit. I was going to type in vacation items, which we still can because that's what other people have happen in this summer, but ended up hurting my ankle, so we have to delay that. So that's not super fun. All right, and then the other thing, if all of those tips haven't helped you, something that you see around you, something you use that day, something you've done that day, something you're going to do in the near future, any holidays coming up, and you're like, I'm just stuck. My brain hurts. Watch TV, okay? And then type in a word that they say or some kind of commercial that you see. So right now, like I said, it's playoff season for hockey. So I can just type in hockey, right? And then I'm going to click on this and well, actually, hold on. First, I'm going to scroll. All right, so I've scrolled. So now I'm here. All right. And then, ooh, I've got a Steve Yzerman signed hockey puck. I'm going to try to get myself a pretty case for that. Click. Come on. Thank you. Oh, that's fun. My nephew would love that. Okay, he gets my last message. Bink. Oh, wait, which one do I want? That one or that one? I think that one's pretty cool. But this one looks fancier. Probably less dust with that one and easier to dust. We're going to do that one. All right, anyways, let's go ahead and hit send. So that's my other tip for finding keywords for brainstorming, okay? I'm going to go ahead and change this over to generic because I don't have a hockey one. Okay. Then I'm going to pause this until those send. All right, so just real quick, now what I'm going to cover is the follow-up messages. All right, now with follow-up messages, what I used to do is I would come in here and I'd click on a brand and then I would copy and paste a follow-up message, and then I'd go to the next one, copy and paste a follow-up message, go to the next one, copy and paste a follow-up message. And at the time, you didn't know if a brand had answered you yet or not, okay? So you had to go into each one manually. So now all we have to do is scroll a bit. All right, so notice these were all a minute, 3 minutes ago, however many, but then as I get down to 2 days ago, these lovely follow-up checkboxes start to show up, okay? And if I keep on going, I'll see some others. And I haven't sent them in a little bit because I was waiting and stuff like that. But we're going to scroll until I don't really see any more. Every once in a while, I got a straggler I missed. Okay, so now what most people do at this point, okay, with ViralVue, oh, geez Louise, is they would come in here and they would click individually, like so, okay? And they'd keep scrolling and they'd be like, oh, no more. Let me keep scrolling up. There's another one right there. Let me keep going until I see another one. And they'd keep clicking. But my tip is go into the search deals, which the search deals section you get from ViralVue. You're going to click on type in follow. And now look, all of my messages that I need to click follow up for are magically here right after the other. Okay. And you get 20 follow up messages a day. Okay. Or if you up your messages to 45 or whatever, like I did, then you will get just that many as well. Okay. So when they came out with this feature the first time, I thought for sure I was going to have to up my messages to use like follow-ups, right? I thought it was going to be, you get 20 total. And if you want to use your 20 on follow-up that day, you can. But they didn't. They just gave us additional messages for the follow-up, which was awesome. All right, so I've got my 45 selected here. A few things for this to show up. The brand needs to have answered you, or the brand, if they answered you with a question, it will not send a follow-up because obviously they answered. For some reason, you had already responded to them for something else, it will not show up again as well. Okay, there's a few things, and I'll try to find the post somewhere and put it in the description for this video, okay? But the ViralVue Facebook group, there's a paste in there where Trevin and Cade posted why it will specifically show up. But long story short, it needs to be 2 days or older. okay, from when the message sent. So I'm going to click all of those and I'm going to click on follow up. And now it is sending my follow up template. Okay. As you can see, messages to send 45 and all of these brands. Okay. And one time I think I actually timed how long it took me to manually send a message. By the time I had clicked on it, copied and pasted and all that good stuff and actually found them, I think it took me about 60 seconds per message ish, even with like copying and pasting because I had to find something. And look, it's already sent 6 follow-ups for me. And right now, my computer always runs really slow whenever I record and do this stuff at the same time. All right, but I'm going to pause it and then I'm going to show you what the elapsed time was. All right, so it's got one more left to send and it has been just under 3 minutes. Okay, and then after that, you go ahead and you just reload your page. All right, you guys, I really hope that this video helped you today. Please go ahead and like it if it helped you so other people can find this as well. Once again, if you want to try ViralVue, Shay10 is my 10% off coupon code, so you can go ahead and use that to give it a try. I'll put the link down in the bottom as well if you want. And then let me know what you guys want to learn next, because once again, this video came from a personal request from somebody that sent me a message, okay? So I hope that you now know what Creator Connections is and how to send those messages, and go ahead and start trying to get those lovely brand deals and your free samples.